him to sense more than 10 times what he could previously do. Hearing the loud thuds of Ye Tian's feet over the roof of his room, the King Yun he remarks to himself about the mouse walking into the trap. Ye Tian continues his run towards Ye Yu and enters the building's basement using his teleportation skills. However, as soon as he steps into the basement, his face narrowly dodges a strong punch from the silver-haired woman's pawn. He notices how he couldn't sense this man with his spatial sensing and wonders if he used some mystic technique to hide his presence. Nevertheless, without wasting a second, Ye Tian swings his arm and punches the man right through his face before casting the bind spell. This psychic energy results in breaking the mask of the man, since it's at the level of a grandmaster, and the man isn't even an advanced martial warrior. When the man thuds down into the ground, Ye Tian wonders why the Yun family only had an advanced martial warrior looking over Ye Yu. Nonetheless, Ye Yu spots her brother from behind the cage and calls out to him. Thus, he strides towards her and opens the cage to enter inside. She immediately hugs him and starts crying, but he tries his best to comfort her and takes all the blame on himself for not taking care of her. He then immediately grabs her hand and puts her on his back before running away. While Ye Yu notices Ye Tian's immensely increased strength and thinks about how much he would have suffered to achieve this rank, a blade flies towards them and lands right in front of them. Ye Tian jolts back in surprise and looks up towards the direction it came from. The silver-haired woman calls back her weapon with a signal of her finger. Once she has made sure that she's gotten Ye Tian's attention, she remarks how it's their first meeting and demands that he hand over the Vitality Stone core. Ye Yu looks up at the silver-haired woman, Yun Feng, and informs Ye Tian that she's the same woman who kidnapped her and hurt Xiao Jin. Claiming to be aware of that, Ye Tian commands Ye Yu to go hide somewhere since Yun Feng is more troublesome than he thought. Once Ye Yu has rushed away, Yun Feng gets down towards Ye Tian while pointing her weapon at Ye Tian, which he narrowly blocks. While he acknowledges her fast speed, she remarks at how he's risen to the Grand Master realm and mocks him by asking if he's gotten a lot of benefits from the Yui family. However, he pushes her away and makes her weapon get out of her grip as he calls her out for talking too much. Soon after regaining her balance, Yun Feng swings her weapon towards Ye Tian, and their fight starts in the air, while Ye Yu cheers for her brother from the ground. Suddenly, she feels an uncanny appearance towering over her from behind, and her eyeballs dilate out of fear. With a swift strike, King Yun he brings her onto her knees. Ye Tian notices what is happening on the ground, and he cannot help but get distracted out of concern for his sister. This distraction results in him getting scratched by Yun Feng's weapon, and he tells him to stay focused. Out of anger, Ye Tian uses strength talent, and his muscles start to swell bigger. Thus, when Yun Feng gets near him, he quickly defends himself with his dagger and cuts off the blade's ends from its rod. Leaving Yun Feng wondering about what just happened and how Ye Tian's strength suddenly increased so much, Ye Tian immediately turns towards the ground to protect his sister, Ye Yu. On the other hand, Ye Yu falls onto the ground and balances herself on all fours. Out of pain, when she calls out for Ye Tian, he angrily yells at King Yun He to immediately stop torturing Ye Yu. With the use of spatial talent teleportation, he quickly gets to Ye Yu and picks her up in his arms. King Yun He seethes in anger when Ye Tian takes Ye Yu away. Ye Tian tells her to hold up and opens up the bottle of blood of the calamity beasts. However, she starts coughing up toxins, which makes Ye Tian realize that her internal organs are crushed. Moreover, he did not even bring along any healing item, nor can he give her his regeneration talent. Seeing this painful condition of his sister, Ye Tian curses at King Yun He for using his psychic energy on a regular human while being a monarch rank himself. Even so, instead of replying to him, he questions Ye Tian about how he managed to obtain so many talents within his body, like strength, speed, and also spatial talent. King Yun He's arrogance makes Ye Tian even angrier, and the two of them glare at each other. Taking out the teleportation talisman, Ye Tian looks into King Yun He's eyes and claims that he's not going to forget what he did to Ye Yu. Once the teleportation talisman starts working, he picks up Ye Yu and calls out to escape. Seeing them planning to teleport, King Yun He fumes with anger and lunges towards them. He tries to stop them and yells at Ye Tian to stop right away. However, it's too late by now, and they get teleported away after Ye Tian seethes at him, claiming that King Yun he would eventually die by his hand. Yun Feng can hardly believe how Ye Tian managed to escape with the help of the unparalleled speed of the talisman. She gets down on the ground and advises King Yun He to not let Ye Tian go away, because with the help of the Vitality Core Stone, his growth will only spell disaster for the Yun family. Out of anger, King Yun he doesn't say a word and just presses his finger against the void. When the void starts to crack, Yun Feng realizes the extent of his anger, and the two of them enter inside the opening after the void breaks down. After escaping from Yun territory, Ye Tian and Ye Yu teleport to an abandoned train station at a distance of 300 kilometers. He picks her up and starts walking when Xiao Yu gets there. Looking at the condition of Ye Yu, Xiao Yu gets worried about her injuries. Ye Tian requests her to take Ye Yu to the Yue family so she can be healed. Thus she agrees and holds Ye Yu. He suddenly gets reminded about Xiao Yu's slow speed. Thus he takes out Xiao Jin and entrusts the two of them to Xiao Jin. Once the three of them leave, Ye Tian goes to a location where he again meets with King Yun He and Yun Feng. Right after stepping out of the void, King Yun, he expresses his surprise over Ye Tian's possession of the teleportation talisman and mocks him for choosing that place to be buried. When Ye Tian counters him with the same dialogue, he challenges Ye Tian to see how many tricks Ye Tian has rolled up in his sleeves. The King Killer formation array is initiated, and King Yun He and Yun Feng get surrounded by the endless, extremely ice prison. He quickly understands that this is a formation array placed beforehand by Ye Tian. As soon as he grabs Yun Feng's arm, they both get struck by ice and get frozen within. Ye Tian is busy acknowledging the awesomeness of the formation array, in front of which even a monarch didn't stand a chance, when he hears a voice. Ni Qi Yueling and Elder Yu arrive there, and Elder Yu praises Ye Tian for being able to make their plan go smoothly. He thanks Ye Tian for bringing Yun He over and remarks that even if his strike was unable to kill Yun He, it deprived Yun He of his fighting skills.